Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Now, it is October, and in October, I really like to visit the magic costume tree from time to time. And I am still looking for your suggestions for magic costume tree episodes and possibly Halloween-related episodes over the next couple of weeks. I thought I'd start things off today with an episode suggestion I got from one of my Patreon sponsors. The suggestion comes from Kayden from Livermore, California, and he wanted a sneaky Sasquatch costume for the magic costume tree. I think he also made a Sasquatch suggestion for the Cards of Power, too. So that is exactly what we're gonna do today. I also want to take a second to give a shout out to some of my latest Patreon sponsors. As many of you know, Patreon is the thing that keeps this podcast alive. First, thank you to Atticus and Carly for sponsoring the podcast. That means a lot, guys. Thank you. Thank you to Ryan, who has actually been sponsoring me for a long time, but just recently replied to my any shoutouts question. It means a lot too, Ryan. Thank you. And last, thank you to Max from Toronto, who I believe had a birthday last week. So happy 6th birthday. A little belated at this point, but happy birthday anyways. As I said, Patreon is the main way we're funding this podcast right now. We are, of course, looking for ads and stuff like that, but those are kind of hard for kids' podcasts. So in the meantime, Patreon keeps us running. Any amount you are able to sponsor, $1 a month is kind of where I have things set at the low end. But not only do you get to support the podcast, you also get ongoing ad-free Dad's Bedtime Stories episodes. You even get a link where you can listen to those on your favorite podcast app. And you also get any bonus episodes I put out. Mostly, I've been working on Unbound, the Superhero Academy, and trying to get a chapter of that out every week. I believe this week should be chapter 13 or 14. I can't remember without looking. And I've probably talked too long at this point, so get as comfy as you can in those beds, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Now, if you've listened to Magic Costume Tree episodes before, you would know that the Magic Costume Tree always appears to those in need of adventure. And today is no different. You wake up in the morning, go through your usual morning routine, eat some breakfast, and head outside. As you're exploring around home, you notice something you haven't seen before. A little trail off to the side, cutting through all sorts of branches and little trees. You decide to go check it out. As you walk through the little path, you feel a pulse of energy that you have felt before. You continue down the path, and standing directly in front of you is a gigantic and very ancient-looking tree with a door on the front. You look behind you and, well, it seems like the path to home has just sort of disappeared. You walk up to the large ancient tree, swing open the door, and step inside. Row upon row upon row of costumes are hanging in the thing, and, as always, one of them is lit up. It looks kind of furry. You walk over to the costume that seems to be lit up by a spotlight. You pick it up off of the rack and look at it. At first, you wonder if it might be like a monkey costume or something, but you soon realize that it's a Sasquatch. A Sasquatch costume. You quickly unzip the back, hang up the hanger again, and step into the costume, 1 foot at a time. You zip up the back using a pull string, and then you feel a strange tingling sensation, as if the costume and your body are becoming one. You can now feel every part of the costume as well. The gigantic costume feet have become your feet. You can bend the gigantic toes and curl the gigantic feet. Cool. You also feel stronger somehow, as if you could run 50 miles without any effort. A sudden clunking sound startles you. You jump back away from it and, well, you realize it was just the hanger falling off the rack. You must not have hung it up properly. But what? What's going on with your arms and legs? As you look down, you can't really see them anymore. You take a deep breath and relax your body, and as you do, your arms and legs come back into view. That must be some sort of Sasquatch reflex. Invisibility. You practice for a moment turning the invisibility on and off. You find that by sort of thinking about that startled state you were in for a second, the invisibility activates. And by relaxing your body and muscles, well, you become visible again. You grab the hanger and hang it up properly this time, and you decide to head outside, wondering exactly what this Sasquatch costume can do, and why the magic costume tree appeared to you today. There's always a reason after all. When you step outside, you find that the magic costume tree has somehow relocated itself into the center of a huge forest. Gigantic old trees grow on either side, which is kind of perfect for you because for some reason, running through the forest feels like the best thing you could possibly do. You run towards the trees and jump up in the air, instinctively grabbing onto a branch and swinging up higher. You land on top of another branch and, well, you're blown away that you just did that. Your arms feel like they could throw you straight upwards. So much power. You try again, leaping to another branch and using your arms to throw yourself up into the air. You fly through the air, catch on to another branch, and continue to swing, kind of like a monkey, branch to branch. Only you have so much power that you're able to swing gigantic distances. You find yourself sailing through the air. But it's almost as if the trees are moving towards you as well. I mean, you're certainly throwing yourself through the trees and through the air with incredible power and speed, but the branches seem to move towards your hands too. You decide to put that to the test. You stop for a second, hanging from one of the branches, and reach your arm out. A vine shoots out and wraps around your hand. Cool. You let go of the branch and swing down on the vine, moving towards the ground before shooting upward again. You leap into the air, reach out your hand, and sure enough, another vine shoots towards you. You spend a little bit of time making your way through the forest, jumping from tree to tree, branch to branch, vine to vine, until you finally allow yourself to drop down to the ground once again. Your gigantic feet pad your landing perfectly. Sasquatch must be able to really move. Surrounded by the trees, you feel your connection to nature as well. Every bird, every bug, every living creature, every living plant in the area gives off some kind of special signal, and when you close your eyes and focus, you can still sense them. You can feel their life around you. It's a really neat sensation. And it feels like it goes deeper than that. You reach your hands out, focus your mind, and you start to call the trees and the flowers to grow. You feel them respond. You feel them growing up higher and taller, and as you open your eyes, you watch them do just that. The trees, which were once mere seedlings, begin to grow up through the others, up towards the sky. And below them, on the ground, beautiful wildflowers bloom at will. You walk down the forest path, and wherever you go, you leave a trail of incredible wildflowers growing behind you. But you start to sense something else. Something in the distance. You start to hear voices, movement. Interesting. You walk over towards the area where you hear them. You duck down behind a bush, and you look out. There's a huge campsite. A whole bunch of people. Families, maybe? Kids and adults. All hanging out in various tents. Really large tents. Cooking meals on campfires, hanging out and telling stories. And that's when you hear a scream. You look over to your right and see a little girl pointing at you and yelling at the top of her lungs. You instinctively activate your invisibility, and the girl looks confused. Her parents and someone you assume to be her older brother run over to see what's going on. I saw a Sasquatch. There was a Sasquatch right there. Oh, honey, Sasquatch aren't real. I'm sure you're just imagining things. It could have been the shadows or something, her father says. Come on, breakfast is ready. This way. The family walks over towards a large tent, a tent where they're cooking breakfast for the whole group. The girl keeps looking backwards and, well, looking rather confused. She knows what she saw after all. You stay invisible and decide to get a better vantage point. You kind of want to see what's going on. You throw yourself up a tree as quickly as you can until you can see out over the entire camp. As you listen in, you discover that it's some sort of company camping trip for employees and their families. When they're done breakfast, the boss gathers them around. All right, everybody, thank you for coming to our annual camping trip. As you know, it's very important to us to have everyone together. It builds teamwork and camaraderie. And this year, we have a very special edition. I'm here to announce the prize for winning the family competition. $5,000 cash and this wonderful trophy. The crowd gasps. That's a lot of money. I'll be keeping all of this in our tent right here, the company tent. Well, the rest of us go off to the egg on a spoon competition. Follow me, everyone. The man moves inside his tent and, well, you can tell that he places the money and the gigantic trophy inside. Then he leads the crowd away, presumably to one of those competitions where you have to hold an egg on a spoon and run around an obstacle course without breaking it. Classic company camping stuff. You're about to go watch to see who wins the competition when your Sasquatch senses tell you that somebody else is here. Somebody else is nearby. You jump to the next tree and begin to swing through the air, still completely invisible. You land atop a nice sturdy branch and look down below you. Two men dressed in camouflage and holding bows and arrows are peeking out on the campsite as well. "Did you hear that?" one of them says. $5,000. And look at all the camping gear they have. These people are glampers. Expensive coolers, expensive supplies. If we can take it for our own, we'll make out like bandits.
But what are we going to do with all that camping stuff?
The other man asks. Well, I'll pawn it or something. I don't know, but at least that $5,000 cash won't be hard to get rid of. Oh no, they're planning to rob the company camping trip? That's terrible. You continue to watch as the two men in camouflage sneak through the now mostly empty campsite. You can still hear the campers off in the distance, cheering and laughing and crying as they compete for the best egg spoon holder person. The men unzip the tent, step inside, and begin to rummage around. You can't let this happen, you realize. And with your Sasquatch powers, maybe you don't have to. You leap down off of the tree and land gracefully using your gigantic Sasquatch feet. You quietly move over to the entrance of the tent and you watch as the men grab the $5,000 and shove it in their pockets. Then, they grab a gigantic and very nice-looking cooler, dump the food out on the ground, and start shoving everything else they can find inside it. Anything that looks valuable at all. You hear someone else approaching as well.
I'll be right back. I'll just go grab that from the company tent,
the voice says, the same father from before. You back up to allow him to move towards the tent. He looks inside and meets eyes with the two men.
Hey, who are you? And what are you doing here? Oh no.
The men hold up their bows and point them towards the guy.
I didn't see anything. I'm sorry.
It's too late for that. We're gonna have to tie you up until we can get out of here.
Oh, no need for that. I won't tell anyone at all.
You decide that this might be your moment to act. You step into the tent, still invisible, and then appear out of nowhere. You quickly reach out and grab one of the bows and arrows. You throw it outside as quickly as you can. All three men yell in surprise, and the other man points his bow and arrow towards you. Before he can shoot, vines shoot up out of the ground. Vines that you've instinctively called on. They wrap around the bow and arrow, around the man's legs and arms. The other man looks at his friend, looks at you, and tries to run outside. You quickly reach out and grab his jacket, lifting him up into the air in front of you. Wow, you really are powerful. Vines shoot out of the ground again and tie him up as well.
There really is a Sasquatch?
The other guy says.
Yes,
You respond, trying to use the deepest voice you can.
we Sasquatch are here to help you. Do not be afraid.
Okay, I guess not. You did save us after all.
That man has stolen your money. You will find it in his pockets.
Okay. Yeah, looks like they dumped out all of our food, too. It's covered in dirt. It's not gonna be any good at all anymore.
No, I am sorry. Perhaps I can help.
You walk outside and reach down into the ground using your mind. Suddenly, things begin to grow. Little plants, little bushes, little trees shoot up out of the ground. They grow flowers, and the flowers turn into fruit and berries, until there's kind of a gigantic food forest sitting in front of you, just outside the tent.
How did you do that?
The man asks.
We Sasquatch have our secrets. Now, call the police or something. I must go.
Thank you, and see you later.
Yes, or probably not.
You respond. You activate your invisibility once again, and you run away from the campsite. You jump to the trees, grab onto a branch, and begin to swing, branch to branch, vine to vine, flying gracefully through the air. At times you run, and at times you move through the trees until you see the familiar glow of the magic costume tree. You leap out of the forest and land in the clearing outside the thing. It feels as though it's calling you once again. You walk up to the door, swing it open, and step inside. You suddenly feel the costume sort of detach from your body, becoming less a part of you and more a costume once again. You unzip the back zipper and pull the costume off. It feels weird to be normal again. You grab the hanger, hang it up, zip it up, and put it back on the rack. Thank you, costume tree, you say. That was a fun adventure. In response, the tree just sort of glows. You swing the door open again and step outside. You find that you're no longer in the center of the forest. You see the same path ahead of you that you took to get to the costume tree in the first place. You wave goodbye to the tree, head down the path until you see your home right in front of you. You look back and the path has completely disappeared once again. You head inside your home and directly to your bed. Somehow, even though the Sasquatch costume did most of the work, your muscles are still kind of sore and achy. You climb into your bed, you pull the covers up over top of yourself, and you close your tired eyes. With each breath, you let go of a little more tension in your muscles, sinking down deeper and deeper into the bed. You let go of the tension in your arms. You let go of any tension in your legs. You allow your shoulders to relax and sink into the bed. And you allow your face to sort of soften into a nice half smile. And once it feels like you're just floating on a cloud, you allow your mind to wander off too. Off to thoughts of new dreams, new adventures, and new costumes to come. Good night, everyone.